What's up, guys? Sub-Zeric here, back for another VOD review, and it is Regional Finals Week 1 right now, literally going on right now in EMEA as I record this, and then we're going to have Americas later. We had APAC. This is, I would say, the most consequential set of 2 weekends for all of these people who are super locked into TFT, trying to do this as the main thing in their life, because it determines not only just who goes to Worlds, which is pretty big on its own, but it also determines who gets to be in Tier 1 next year, or, next set. So, there's a lot of people battling it out here, especially in things like the play-ins, trying to ensure that they can make it into the Tier 1 next set and guaranteed be able to play in these TFT tournaments, do all this kind of stuff. We are not going to VOD review a game from play-ins, because that's where, some of the up-and-comers play against some of the down-and-comers, I guess. But I want to do a game from Week 1, which is just as important. Also, clarifies who is going to make it to Worlds, who's going to be in Tier 1. And one player who has been doing fantastically here is Kevin Parker. This guy started off, so we're only 3 games in, but a 1-3-3 to start off. We might actually have, oh my god, did you just see Luna jump through my arms here? Ooh, yeah, 1-3-3-2, 27 points so far on the day, looking really, really nice. And one of the reasons why KP was even on my mind is because I saw on Twitter, he said, I think this is the most confident I've ever been going into a tournament, hopefully saying this doesn't backfire into getting a bunch of bad beats. I'm pretty sure my read is crispy clean this time. And so I wanted to see what KP's crispy clean read looks like. And this first game, I took a quick peek at it, and it's a really interesting line selection, not one that I would have thought about at all. Not a line that I mean, this is a comp that I didn't know even existed, really. And so I really want to show this game off and glaze KP a little bit here. So start off with a few pairs. This is XP Ionia, though we do also have the Sona pair, which I've talked about in my group coaching stuff. Link down below if you're really interested. But that is a really, really nice opener on this patch, just because Demacia plays really nicely into Demacia Fast 9 stuff. Like, there's so much that you can do with a Demacia opener on this patch that you couldn't do as much last patch. And yeah, we are even going to make that triple slam here, not to unlock Skarner, but I guess if we were level 7, it would give us that. But to unlock the Poppy here to get us much closer to the 3 Demacia opener here. So a lot of people really, really like this Poppy unit to start off with. So I would say, Wood Axiom, Iron Asset, Spoil of War. I would just grab off an Iron Assets here, and make an item slam. But that's not what KP is actually thinking in this spot here. Iron Assets, it does let you make an item slam here, but he sees the potential of, and he's doing a full scout of the lobby to see if there's anyone else who might, try to play into this. I can take Wood Axiom here and start scaling up a unit in this Wood Axiom. And so Wood Axiom, it used to be not the world's best augment, but it has been buffed pretty precipitously since then. So 55 HP per combat, and champions inside get 15% max HP. If you're playing any kind of comp where you are confident you're going to get a lot of armor and MR onto a unit, that HP and, extra max HP is actually hugely consequential. I mean, compare this to something like Cooking Pot. It's essentially the same amount of HP that you get via Cooking Pot, but you don't have to do this kind of weird thing where you have to position right next to somebody. I mean, you have to throw them in the exact hex, but you can at least just kind of set it and forget it, put them into that hex and leave them there. And you don't get the 15% max HP. And Cooking Pot is obviously a gold augment and not a silver augment. So, the big difference, obviously, being that Cooking Pot does give you that pan to play with, but it's really Cooking Pot minus the pan if you think about it that way. And if you have an early unit that you can throw these items onto, you will feel really, really good about it. So we're trying to figure out strongest board here. Yeah, KP thinking hard about what he wants to play here. Opts to remover the Sona here and put the items on the Vi here, saying, you know what, I really, really do need to unlock Orianna this round. Just showing how interesting the early game has gotten after these unlock changes have been moved around so much, is that, you must do something like this so that you can unlock the Orianna. So this can be your mid-game board, because this board is going to be fantastic. You have Zoe as your next level up, very likely. So a lot of good stuff going on here. I guess the only downside to actually, I'm curious, yeah, maybe you have to sell the Zoe so that you can hold on to these Demacians. Kind of unfortunate because Zoe certainly would want to be our level 5 here, but yeah, gold is gold here, and so we are going to sell this off here and hold on to the rest of the stuff here because we know we want to play around a Demacia opener this game, so makes a lot of sense. But yeah, just really nicely balancing the items around, getting these double unlocks to play for our board. Obviously, we ended up hitting pieces of this this defender Piltover board, so we don't even need the Poppy for now, but we'll need her later. So, you know, no harm, no foul on that one. We have the Chain Vest open here. We're going to be forced to take a Cloaca here, which I am not, I mean, the biggest fan of grabbing in a spot like this. Gargoyle is obviously a very mediocre slam in a comp like this because you're already playing for a lot of armor and Amar. But KP knows we're on a 3 streak here. There are good chances that we are just going to have to slam this. I will say this does obviously look like an overslam this fight. Didn't need to slam this versus Losher here. Yeah, so I think we probably should have held off on this for 1 rounds, but he knows there's enough strong people in my pool. If I don't have to slam at 2-5, I'll probably have to slam at 2-6. So, I mean, it's probably going to have to end up being made here, even though it's a rough item to make. It's just making items, usually a good thing to do in TFT. Who would have thought? But win streaking, potentially 5 streaking in this spot where we didn't take an econ augment, so we're going to be a little bit poorer than, you know, obviously everybody else who did take econ. It makes a lot of sense to play for this. This is kind of a hilarious double void staff setup here because one got rolled off the TG, but I mean, this Nico is quite tanky. Can we hold the line? Oh, this fight's close, but I think we are going to lose. Yeah, rest in peace. Take our first loss of the game here. There, which unfortunate. We're on our way to a 5 streak, but I mean, this Kiana unit kind of broken. Just the upgrades is just too much for us to deal with. So okay, 4 streak. Still though, stacking up that wood axiom, right? We stacked 5 rounds of 55, which is a lot of HP. What, a 275 or something like that? That is a lot. So that's already just onto this Nico unit. Now, obviously, the thing that you have to think about in a spot like this is, okay, I have to play a board that plays Nico if I don't want to just waste all this HP that I've gained this game. So what am I going to do? Because I'm thinking about playing, you know, normally I think you'd think about playing Vertical Demacia here. Thank you for the bless yous in the YouTube comments. But, you know, Vertical Demacia is not going to play Nico. You can play her for a little bit because she's Defender, she's Arcanist. But, you know, normally you're playing on that board just units that kind of fit better because you can obviously easily fit the 2 Defender. Also, pretty surprised we win this fight. But, man, our board kind of beastly here. Next augment here, Hold the Line, Priz Destiny, Pandora's. I mean, I don't love this augment. The question is, do you need gold so badly that you would grab Priz Destiny here? I think the answer is yes, just because we are a little bit broke here. No streak, no econ augment. Hold the Line is like a decent option. Get a bunch of like AP onto that, you know, like Lux or whatever later. But I would be looking at Priz Destiny here. These two don't look great. It's more item augment, so we do grab it here. Oh, and we get a big gold injection here. Priz Destiny into the tiniest Titan here. I mean, this is great. We needed an econ augment, so this is honestly like best case scenario here. We just get an econ augment plus 7 gold here. So really good hit here actually for KP. The only, I guess, unfortunate thing is we might end up if we keep winning going down that path where you end up overhealing over you know, like you're just sitting here at 100 and not doing too much, which is a little bit sad, I guess. You can see, this is an interesting comp we're team plannering out. I was gonna say earlier we did hold on to the Kiana with the idea. Wow, I mean, that is a really interesting line that he's looking at there. Looking at playing kind of like an Ishtal flex line with this Swain that we just immediately do pick up. The idea being, once again, we want Nico on our board. We want a Nico on our board. It makes sense from the perspective of like, this Nico has now stacked up 7 rounds of extra HP here. And so honestly, I've talked about this in my group session again. Okay, I just keep thinking about when I was talking about this, about how, you know, these days, obviously Nidalee is a much easier unlock. You just need to hit that level 7 triple item Nico and boom, you've got Nidalee. You don't need to hit Nico 3. You don't even need to hit, you know, like 6 Nikos like you did before. This means that you can unlock Nidalee a lot easier, but it doesn't, I think it baits people because a lot of people are thinking, oh, well, Nidalee's going to be broken now because I can just unlock her for free. I kind of feel like, yeah, like Ra, do you ever even just make the Spark here? Doesn't actually seem bad. But the thing is, when you're not playing around a Nidalee, And what's this? Why did we... Oh, because he wants to unlock Skarner on level 7. Yeah, so that's why we go for this. Just going to throw the Spark onto Kennen for now, just to get it onto somebody because he doesn't want to burn more removers. But yeah, like, now that you unlock Nidalee so much easier, you still are going to have a pretty vulnerable Nidalee if you don't reach Nico 3 because, you know, Nico 2 is going to die pretty quickly. Now, I don't think that's really the case when you have a Nico 2 who's been stacking up so much HP. I mean, we're about to have 10 rounds of 55. We're about to have 550 extra HP on this dude. By 68 XP, beautiful pickup here, actually, for KP in this spot here. And he can also, you know, you could actually start thinking about juicing up the Skarner here, right? But I think he's just going to say, you know, it's Nidalee, or Nico, she's a defender here. I want to continue stacking up that HP onto her. It's kind of interesting that he throws the tank items onto Skarner, but he's still stacking up the Nico here. I guess his idea being that, yes, Skarner 1 is better right now, but the second that we reach Nico 2, I'm going to need to move items back over to the Nico. So just playing really, really good, tight solid. Yeah, and he's swapped him back and forth. He's like, do I want to stack this guy here? And look at this, the level 7 roll here, trying to find Nico 2 here. Yeah, I think really wanted to find Nico 2 on this round so they could have Nidalee going into next round. Also could look at things like Milio's here, very flexibly rolling down here. Our items start looking really good here. Nashor's red buff here, going to continue to roll down. Seeing a lot of 4 costs, maybe too many 4 costs. See an Ornn even, but he completely blows past that because he knows I can't really play for this here. Has the Milio now, starts hitting some upgrades. Boom, boom, boom. These triple upgrades are huge in this spot here. And wow, even going to downgrade Skarner here so that he can not have to spend a remover here. Wow, that is crazy. But he's like, one, it might have been a time thing. Like, I don't know, I can sell a unit faster that I can move the remover. 2, I think it was just like, I need removers, man. I'm going to need to move items around to everybody here. That is crazy. But also, the value of a Skarner 2 is not as high here because we have the Nico 2. I'm still surprised by that, though. Biffle, tiny but deadly, 1 buff, 2 buff. I don't know if there is some kind of like crazy bronze for life board here. I don't really know of one if there is. So yeah, I don't think that's very good. I don't think it's tiny but deadly. Dragonguards seems tough to play from this spot. I would say it would be super woke. Giant Might. Oh my God, he does take the Dragonguards here with just the 3 Jarvans here. I mean, this is a very, very strong augment. It plays into our game plan of playing around some of this stuff. This does mean we're going to have to change some of our board a little bit here. We need to get the dragon on the board to guards. And yeah, we're going to move the items back over to the Nico here. And yeah, we're going to completely sell out of the Skarner here. This is the other reason, I guess, why he, you know, was comfortable selling the Skarners, is that there's a very good chance that we just play 3 units, 3 Ishtal without even playing Skarner in this spot here. Makes a lot of sense, actually. Just the Nico plus the Nidalee plus the Milio. And so now this is going to be our board for the moment. And we refound Ornn. We actually skipped one Ornn earlier and then found another one, and are now actually playing around the Ornn here as a potential, you know, way to farm an artifact. Just traitless on this board right now. Maybe there's a chance of us getting a Xin Zhao in later, but for now we kind of need to fit all the rest of this stuff here. The Nico for the extra damage, the Milio for the extra damage. We are getting hit pretty hard here. This is where the healing from our Tiniest Titan is going to kick in and make this stage survivable, but we do still need a plan to get to a strong board here. I think a lot of people have kind of realized, you know, this patch is a lot about stabilizing on, you know, kind of crazy boards like this, I would say, where, you know, it's a lot of lower cost units upgraded, but a low cost unit can do work here. This is why we made stuff like the Orianna, but now that we took Dragonguards, we're kind of in the spot where we have to play around this. All right, we level up here for just the Xin Zhao here. Great in on this board, gets the Warden and the Demacia in. And yeah, he's actually, I was considering this, just completely dropping out of Ishtal here. Our odds of getting like a big cash are not that big, and it means we can play a lot of better stuff here, get Piltover in here, still keep Invoker in here. Could even move items over to the Orianna. But once again, that is a spend of a remover, and we only have 2 left. So this patch, I feel like so much is, you know, save the turtles, save the removers. All right, so we do pick up a Lux here. So yeah, we're getting towards the spot where we can play more Vert Demacia here. We got 1 more round left on Ornn, so we did full sack this entire stage, but we're also almost to that J4-3. And you can see now we're going to start stacking him up here because we know, okay, we're certainly going to make it there. And so we can start playing for him as our main tank in this spot. Obviously, J4 is going to be better than a Nico too. And you want to put your items onto him so that he gets that extra Dragonguards damage, especially stuff like this Gargoyle here. So boom, there is J4. There is Ornn item. Static Shiv, pretty good here. But yeah, we're going to get out of the Sona at this point. We have the Galio now, so now we can play this really interesting 5 Demacia, 4 Defender, Arcanist Piltover board. We're going to play around Lux Ori for now. Did drop out of Invoker onto this board. We do, wow, find a random list too. But he says, you know what, that's not good enough. I cannot fit this here. I need to just fit some of these upgrades on these units. Finally finds Lux too, but man, oh man, did that take a long time. Need to move items. Ooh, he does last second. Hot hands, moves items here, over there. Boot makes the red buff here. Takes this so that he can reforge and make Demacia emblem. Beautiful. And he also reforged his Ornn item and got Light Shield Crest, which, I mean, this is actually really, really nice for a board that has so much Armor Mar to play with it. All right, so we're going to, now get out of the Xin Zhao because we don't need it in anymore and just play this board and try to figure out, okay, is like, what are we playing on this board? We opt to just play Sona for a second as a decent unit, get the Light Shield onto Jarvan, and going to just move the Vow over to the Shyvana here to get her casting faster. Look how much damage, by the way. You saw that Jarvan casted the front on the fight and kind of deleted some. Look at that damage. Jarvan dealt more damage than Lux, almost 8,000 damage from just this Light Shield Crest for Defender, just insanely tanky, insanely armored MR'd up Jarvan. Look at this, 29 HP on our way to level 9. Once we reach 9, we could play 7 Demacia maybe temporarily, and I think we are, we would be interested in getting out of some of this stuff later. It does actually roll a couple of times here, which is kind of surprising to me, but I mean, to be fair, Garen 2 would be a pretty decent spike on this board. Thing is, you're not really going to itemize him. Though look at this Jarvan again. He's just clearing people. Insanely tanky. And yes, second most damage every single fight. This Jarvan is just a monster with this setup here. All right. Imagine we are looking for last Shyvana item here, which I guess is going to have to be a BT or a Titans or an Edge of Night. But I guess, ooh, Gwynsu. What is Gwynsu here? I don't even know. I don't actually know what this is. I guess this is an item for an extra unit. I mean, you have the Vayne here that you can play for now, but I don't think we really want to play Vayne for a long time here. We do find Zilean here, who is going to come onto this board, and yeah, the Gwynsu really, really nice onto him to get him to continue casting. So yeah, I guess his idea was, I'm going to hit the Zilean. This is just a very fantastic +1 to play on a Demacia board, and getting Zilean casting is actually going to be really, really important here. So another fight where this Jarvan is just destroying the board. I do think the Demacia spot was also really, really crucial so that this Shyvana can actually survive on Shyvana 1 and just continue to keep casting and keep doing insane work here. Now we're just rolling into 0 every round on level 9 because something like a Galio 2 would be huge here. He's trying to think about, like, do I want to move items over? You can't move Jarvan items over because obviously he is our Dragon Guard. Could move Vow over, but getting Shyvana casting quickly is also really important so that Jarvan does the jump. So honestly, I think you might have to just stick with a 0 item Galio here because, I mean, honestly, Shiv items are in some ways, they're almost Jarvan items. Also, look how close this fight is. It's a really strong board from Toon, but we actually win the fight. Oh my God. And look at that, top 4 locked in. We're going to sell the Garen and unlock Silas here to play as an extra unit on this board. Fit for now 5 Defender on this board, so we are a little bit of an awkward spot here. And the 3 Arcanists, we definitely need to figure out exactly what we are playing. Shiv 2 gets picked up here, which is really nice. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff you could take here. You ever just take Shiv item, just DB? You can take IE as well. That works too. We're still on this 5 Defender board for a sec, which is a little unsatisfying, I guess, trait-wise for me, but not that bad. I mean, still pretty good traits that you get to play on this board. You still get the Invoker for the Zilean here. You just get to play good stuff, and the Zilean can be really nice against like giant front lines like this. But once again, man, this board just looks unbeatable. I mean, remember, by the way, we are in a world here where this Jarvan is stacking HP every single round, 55 HP, 55 hot dogs, with all of this this extra HP also going to him. I mean, it's just disgusting. And look, we can level up here, actually get that level 10 for the Zilean here. Opts to actually play 4 Arcanists here with the Ahri just for now. as a very nice in on this board for our Arcanist carries here. This might, oh, I was going to say, is this finally going to be our first loss here? This looked very tanky, but yes, finally going to be our first loss here against just a very strong 7 Noxus board. Pick up the Lucian Senna, who's a good in. We do pick up, yep, there is, oh my god, there is Sejuani for the 6 Defender cap out. I mean, this is why I want to do this VOD review. I have never seen somebody cap out this way with 6 Defender. You know, in previous sets, you know, like 6 Bastion, Aphelios, or whatever, those type of boards have been kind of like more seen as more viable, but this set, never have I ever seen a 6 Defender cap out, especially so cool like this, unlocking the Silas, getting the Garen back, playing around the Dragonguard here. So the 6 Defender Jarvan is just monstrous on this board. I mean, it's just such a cool line here. Pick up the Smojin here so that we can throw this onto the Zilean here. I mean, just a good pickup in general here. Gonna roll down here, pick up the Garen too. I mean, a nice upgrade on this board. And I mean, yeah, tale as old as time. This is our last few upgrades here. Shojin. Oh, I thought you just throw Shojin on the Zilean here. Okay, we will. He thought for a second about removing Lux items, but I don't actually think there's anything better here. I guess you could. Nah, I don't think you even really want to swap around Rent buff that much. All right. This Malzahar board honestly seems like it just can't keep up with how much damage and how much tankiness we have here. So Malz goes down here. We get a lot more gold here. Only thing we can roll for here is Silas 2, which I certainly think we should roll for here. We do just see a Radiant item farmed here, which is a little worrying, but hopefully that won't be a problem. And we do find the Silas 2 here, so we can move. Whoa, look how quick that swap was. Demacia, JG over here and saying, yeah, we're going to move items down here. Who cares about the Lux anymore? We have a 6 Defender Silas. The Silas is dying a little quickly here, and we are actually going to lose this fight here. Oh my god, and we are out of removers for now. I mean, I do think you have to move these items to 6 Defender Silas too, and the you know, everything that we have on the Shyvana makes sense here. So the question is, I mean, you can move the Zillion items back down to the Lux here just to get 3 item Lux, or the real thing that you could do here is just hit Zillion 2 and have a much stronger board here. So we're hoping that we can find that. Let's roll down here. We've been rolling so much on 9 and 10 here. Where's our Zillion? There it is. Oh my god, at the last second. Going to move Edge of Night here and then Demacia back here. I love this. We saw last fight Silas got kind of blown up even with 6 Defender, but now Edge of Night, that's impossible here. So we're going to see the Silas jumping on the board with the Jarvan ult, the Jarvan jumping with the other Jarvan ult here. They're just doing work with each other, and oh my god, it is just barely a win out for Kevin Parker. I mean, this game was just absolute cinema, absolute woke. I cannot. I mean, hats off to Kevin Parker. This is a crazy line. And I mean, it looks like he's doing very, very well in the tournament. So we'll very, very likely see him move on. But, you know, I hope he can continue to keep doing well. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. Check out my Twitch, my Metafy, all my other links down below. And I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching, as always.